Welcome to Firearms of America. Today, as you guys can see, I'm back here at Shooters in Fort Myers, Florida, about to do the review of another Beretta. Always happy to do reviews on Berettas, and today I have actually something special, courtesy of my brother Dietrich. Thank you very much for sending me this gun for review. This is Beretta 96 Brigadier. Yes, and it's not just any regular 96 Brigadier. No, this is Border Marshal edition. Check this thing out, chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson, almost 5 inches of barrel. So you got your standard full-size pistol over here, 10 rounds on the magazine. Let's put some 5 rounds in it and do some shooting and see what this thing can do. Very excited. All right, today I'm gonna be shooting the PMC 40 Smith & Wesson bronze. Okay, so see, as you can see, today's targets are quite destroyed. So there's a little white circle down here. I'll try to finish that one up. Now, 40 Smith & Wesson. There's a huge fan base for the round, and there's a good reason why. If you are not, you're just not satisfied, all right, with the stopping power of the 9mm, 40 Smith might be something for you, all right? Now, the magazine here is very easy to load. Very easy to load, I have to say. It's kind of almost like a high, I would say it's double stacked, but not exactly. There are some windows, but yeah, I put the 5 rounds in it, and did I really put the 5 rounds in it? I wasn't counting. No, I did put 5 rounds in it, and it doesn't show that there are 5 rounds in it. So it's kind of well, let's see what this thing can do whenever it comes to shooting, all right? Because if you pay attention, then you know how many rounds you put in the gun. Okay. Yeah, super easy to rack, nice grip, plenty of real estate. Oh man, this is smooth. Yeah, wow, this thing shoots like like butter. I absolutely love it. Okay, let's start from the very beginning. Man, this thing is impressive. Okay, let's start with the grip. As you can see, you have a pretty beefy grip over here. So if you're a border marshal with big hands, you're gonna definitely appreciate this grip. Very nice rubberized grip over here. So you kind of have that, kind of like one of those Hogyu. I shouldn't even mention that brand because I cannot pronounce it. But it kind of feels like that, right? So it kind of sticks to your hand and definitely helps with the recoil management. I know some people don't really appreciate that much of the rubberized grips, especially because they're, you know, quite popular on the revolvers, and people are like, nah, stay with the wooden one. But it does, you know, I think it is pretty good. Now at the back you have some serrations to give you, well, some aggression from the back, so some aggression from the front. That doesn't sound too good. Okay, just skip that. It gives you some aggression throughout the whole grip, all right, except the rubberized portion. Okay, and then at the front you have some serrations at the trigger guard, just in case if your hands are too big for this gun, which I cannot imagine, but you can, I don't know, whatever. Probably not on this gun, but you still have the serrations at the front, just in case. Now moving further, we got our tiny little mag release over here, which is not ambidextrous, but works very well. Not a lot of real estate on it, but could have been a little bigger, and could have been a little bit more kind of extended, just so it's easier to catch. But once you do catch it, it works very well. Okay, moving further, we have our slide release over here. As you can see, it is nicely extended, so I can easily get to it, even with the shorter fingers like mine, and with the thick grip like this, I can still easily catch. I absolutely love this. This slide release is awesome. Check this out. It's fantastic. I really love the slide release. It's not ambidextrous though, keep that in mind. Safety, however, here is ambidextrous. Check this out, and it's not just the manual safety, it's also the decocker, but we will talk about that later whenever we talk about the trigger. Now the slide itself, obviously you have your classic Beretta style slide. Absolutely love the looks of it. Has exposed barrel over here. I mean, it looks awesome. Now with the Brigadier edition specifically, basically it's your kind of a classic 92, but in the Brigadier edition, in the 96, they beefed up the slide so that the gun can handle better job doing with the plus P ammunition. So if you prefer the plus P, in case if you're a border marshal, and you probably do prefer the plus P, just to have that stopping power, you're gonna definitely appreciate it. Okay, so I'm gonna put some more 5 rounds and see if I can hit some of them flippy pedals. Usually they give me trouble. Okay, definitely 5 rounds. Yeah, I got 5 rounds, and you can see that there are 5 rounds. You know what? I'm gonna try another magazine next time. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Super easy to rack. If I didn't mention it, I think I did, but super easy to rack. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is the gun. This is the gun to shoot. Fantastic. Just smooth as butter. Okay. Let's talk about the trigger before I forget, because I wanted to mention that it's a single double action trigger. That's where the decocker, okay, comes into play. But let me show you the trigger first, and then I'll show you the decocker. Yes. Okay, so we have actually it's in single action. This trigger is just fantastic. But I'll also try shooting it in double action, and I'll see how it feels. Check this out. So you have about, I would say, a decent amount of travel, like 4 millimeters, before you hit the wall, and then from there on, that's super crisp. Yeah, it's unbelievably crisp. Check this out once again. Boom. And then, fantastic trigger in single action. I absolutely love it. That's why you can hit the targets all day long. Yes, I missed one because I'm a terrible shooter, but the gun, I mean, is absolutely phenomenal. But let's talk about the actual safety and the decocker mechanism. I'll show you how it works. All right, so let's say there's a round in the chamber, it's loaded, it's ready to go, right? You got your hammer pulled back, the trigger is in single action. When you engage the safety, it drops the hammer, okay? When you disengage the safety, your gun is now in double action. Check this out. So the hammer is dropped. Obviously you can get just by pulling the hammer back, you can get it back into the single action. But I'll show you what the purpose of the double action is and what the double action is. Here's the trigger in double action. So you have only about a little bit of a less of the travel, and then all this travel back, as you can see now, it's doing the pulling of the hammer. So double action, it pulls the hammer back and then releases it. Double action compared to the single action where it just drops the hammer and that's it. So in double action, obviously the trigger is much heavier. So for the safety purposes, what you can do is obviously you can, have your, standard safety engaged, nothing happens. You can carry it this way, or you can carry it in double action with the heavier trigger. So it's not as light, it's not as crisp, but when you're taking out, obviously you're just, going at the trigger. Obviously, once the slide cycles, once it gets the next round, obviously it puts it back to the single action. But let's try to fire some 5 rounds, and I'm gonna this time actually try to shoot in the double action. See if I can hit the target in double action. Yeah, obviously it becomes a little bit more effort to hit the target in a double action, just because you have all that travel before before you fire. But let's see what we can do. 5 rounds, and then we'll talk about the sights, because the sights here are pretty fancy as well. All right, so now I have it in single action. What I recommend normally, if you are engaging it in double action, hold the hammer, drop the safety, drop the hammer, so that it doesn't, so that the hammer doesn't drop for no reason. Disengage the safety, and now the gun is in double action. All right, let's see what we can do in double action. Okay, we're going. Come on. Yes, hit the target. Not bad. And now we got single action. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, this gun is... And it makes me feel really good, you know, because I reviewed the 92 FS before and it was giving me trouble on every single round. So I'm really happy that I'm reviewing. I mean, it's not exactly 92, it's 96, but it's pretty much exactly the same thing with a few changes here and there. And obviously in 40 Smith & Wesson, not a 9mm, but it's working spotlessly. I don't think there's a word like that. But it works very, very well and makes me really happy. Okay, let's talk about the sights. The sights here, like I said, not just your basic 3-dot sights. No, these are actually come with the night sights. Yes, check this out. Your standard 3-dot sight, very easy to get used to, and obviously because this is not a tilting barrel, there's nothing happens with the barrel. It just stays there. It's not up and down like on your on most of the guns, like for example right here on this Glock. As you can see, when the slide goes back, there's a tilt in the barrel. Not the case here. So if you are accurate enough, you will be more accurate with this gun. Why? Because you will have a tighter group. Why? Because you don't have a tilted barrel. Okay, so let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think about this review? What do you think about this gun? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below. Again, Dietrich, thank you very much for sending me these guns, and this goes out to everyone. If you trust me enough, and I know I'm not so easy to trust. It looks sketchy, this whole channel is sketchy. But if you trust enough to this channel, you trust me, send me your guns. I'm gonna review them, I'm gonna post them on reviews, and I'll pay for the shipping. I'll clean it up, I'll send it back nice and clean, and yeah, alright. And I'm not gonna sell it on the black market, I promise. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Really appreciate your time as always. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.